new CBS next Saturday and streaming on Paramount Plus.
CBS LA at 11 starts with breaking news.
And breaking at 11 on CBS LA, a U.S. crew member whose F-15 fighter jet was shot down in Iran has been rescued by U.S. forces. President Trump tonight said on Truth Social that the crew member is now safe and sound. CBS News reports that U.S. commanders recovered him in a complex operation involving hundreds of personnel, and dozens of warplanes and helicopters. And as U.S. forces closed in, a firefight broke out with the Iranian troops.
The weapons and systems officer had been hiding with essentially no more than a pistol to defend himself for the last 48 hours. Multiple U.S. military assets came into play in order to rescue this American.
The jet was shot down Friday and the pilot was rescued shortly after, but the second service member remained missing until this evening. The Iranian regime had been offering a $60,000 reward to civilians for his capture. There were no casualties on the U.S. side in rescuing the service member, and he was flown to Kuwait for treatment.
Our other top story, an update on the 2 brush fires burning in SoCal. CAL FIRE says containment for the biggest one, the Springs fire in Moreno Valley, is at 95%. All evacuation orders and warnings have been lifted. The fire burned 4,100 acres.
And evacuation warnings have also been canceled in Acton for the Crown Fire. CAL FIRE says forward spread has been stopped after the fire scorched 345 acres. Containment for this one is also at 95%. And those fires catching people off guard after we just had rain a few days ago.
Yeah, CBS LA's Hunter Sowards tells us why fire season is starting early this year.
So many people I talked to yesterday at the Springs fire in Moreno Valley were surprised because they did have recent rainfall. But out here, anytime Santa Anas are in the forecast, we know this is a possibility. That fire danger is a real threat. It is why those crews are now pre-positioned ahead of this wind event, and fire officials are asking everyone to be on their guard.
I think just be very self-aware of your surroundings.
A critically dry and windy weekend forecasted for Los Angeles means extra resources in staffing in the LA Fire Department's Valley and Western bureaus.
We really do have a year-round fire season here in the Los Angeles area.
It comes just a day after 2 fires burned across the region. The Springs fire torched over 4,000 acres in Riverside County's Moreno Valley.
They were telling us to go ahead and evacuate. They were going door to door.
And a smaller brush fire in Acton forced brief evacuations.
It's a beautiful day just to come outside.
Many hiking in the popular Runyon Canyon area shocked to hear of dangerous fire conditions this early in the season, but said everyone should be taking steps to stay prepared no matter the time of year.
It's always taking precautionary measures just to make sure that you're safe at all times.
I just try to stay up to date with news and stuff as much as I can.
While it's been a mild winter as far as temperatures, the LA region got recent rainfall.
Sometimes people do let their guard down when they do see some significant rain. They think, oh, the hillsides must be saturated. Nothing's going to burn in these types of conditions.
LA Fire Captain Brennan Silverman said the time to prepare for the next major wildfire is before it starts.
This is kind of the first warning that this year where people are really taking notice of the weather changing. And so this is a great time, if you haven't already solidified that plan, to take a look at it.
A reminder for everyone to stay weather aware regardless of the season.
Making sure you're safe and making sure other people are safe, taking a precaution to that, devising a plan for safety.
Yeah. It is a bit breezy right now, but things are expected to worsen. We know that LAFD is going to be deploying 3 tactical task forces along with strike teams that have 5 engines each. They say they are going to be taking this very seriously, asking everyone to do the same. Reporting in Glendale tonight, Hunter Sowards, CBS LA.
And talking about that fire danger, here's meteorologist Alex Bisson talking more about those gusty winds and the unseasonably warm temperatures. Alex?
See you soon, Alex. Thank you. Well, more breaking news. The signaler canceled after a crash involving a jackknife semi-truck on the 405 in Carson. SkyCal over the scene earlier tonight. The accident happened on the southbound lanes at the Vermont Street exit. We're told 4 other cars were involved in this. This caused a major backup on the freeway. But again, all lanes are now open.
The Writers Guild of America making a contract deal with major studios. Leaders with AMPTP confirmed the tentative agreement earlier tonight. The agreement would avoid major strikes like last negotiations. The WGA confirmed on social media the agreement and says it protects writers' health plans and puts it on a sustainable path, builds on gains from 2023, and helps address free work challenges. The current contract expires on June 30th. Developing tonight, the Santa Monica Pier reopened after a bomb threat that was deemed not credible. Police say they received that threat around 5:30 this evening. Officers quickly conducted a sweep of the pier and deemed the area safe. About an hour later, we were showing you live footage from SkyCal in the earlier parts of the afternoon and showed you right there the officers patrolling the area, and luckily we got the good news a little bit after that. Well, tonight, family members of a top Iranian general are in ICE custody after the general was killed by the U.S. 6 years ago. They were arrested at their home in Tahunga last night after having their green cards revoked.
Our Lauren Posen has the allegations against them.
That neighborhood is just a couple blocks from where we are. I knocked on doors and talked to people there. They tell me they didn't know the women, but say when ICE agents rolled in, their street was blocked for hours. Furniture sits dumped outside this home where neighbors say federal agents swarmed the residence of a mother and daughter related to a once powerful figure in Iran. ICE agents arrested Hamida Soleimani Afshar and her daughter Friday night. They're the niece and the grandniece of the late Iranian Revolutionary Guard Major General Qasem Soleimani, who was killed in a drone strike ordered by President Donald Trump in 2020. Secretary of State Marco Rubio posted on X saying in part, Afshar is also an outspoken supporter of the Iranian regime who celebrated attacks on Americans and referred to our country as the Great Satan. CBS LA has not been able to verify those claims. The State Department also alleges Afshar promoted propaganda for Iran's regime while living a lavish lifestyle in Los Angeles, one she reportedly showcased on a now deleted Instagram account. Immigration attorney Jaime Barron.
If somebody gives an opinion that is contrary to what the government believes, we've seen that they are taking action, especially against foreign students and workers with visas.
DHS says Afshar entered the U.S. on a tourist visa in June 2015. In 2019, a judge granted asylum. In 2021, she became a green card holder under the Biden administration. In July 2025, she filed a naturalization application, disclosing she traveled to Iran at least 4 times since being issued a green card. DHS says her trips to Iran illustrate her asylum claims were fraudulent.
If an individual is an Iranian national, files for political asylum, gets granted political asylum and then residency, and then travels back to Iran, then definitely that shows an intent that they were really not coming with fear from their country. So it's a big red flag of suspicious action to obtain asylum in the U.S.
Back in Tahunga, we knocked on the door. Property records show and neighbors say the women lived at, but no one answered. Neighbors told us someone even sent them an anonymous letter raising concerns about their ties to the Iranian government. DHS revoked both of the women's green cards and they could be deported. Meanwhile, last month, the Department of State also revoked the legal status of a daughter of a former Iranian national security leader. Reporting in Tahunga, Lauren Posen, CBS LA.
In the meantime, a vigil tonight in Santa Monica for political prisoners executed by Iran, reportedly for their ties to opposition groups. Demonstrators also called attention to other political prisoners who are still facing persecution by the Islamic Republic.
Taking a live look at Vatican City, where it's Easter Sunday morning. In just hours, Pope Leo will lead the world's Catholics for an Easter morning Mass.
It's a quick turnaround from this Saturday night Mass. The Pope addressed St. Peter's Basilica with a message amid ongoing wars in Ukraine and the Middle East. He urged people to not feel numbed by the scope of the conflicts around the world, but to work toward peace.
And in Jerusalem, that message was echoed at this Easter vigil at the Basilica of the Holy Sepulchre. Comes a week after the Latin Patriarch was asked by police not to enter the church over concerns about Iranian strikes.
Well, separating real from fake, the local professor who invented a test to identify counterfeit drugs.
Plus a rash